Honorable judges, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I do this in honor of the Honorable Lady Justice Rindia Achonde, Judge of Appeal, CBS, our outgoing Principal Judge of the High Court. On behalf of the judiciary, I commend your leadership for outstanding service and leadership as the Principal Judge of the High Court. Your leadership has set a high bar, evident in the exceptional productivity score that has been achieved by the High Court during your tenure. You have left a strong foundation upon which we shall continue to build on the gains realized by the High Court. On behalf of the entire legal fraternity, I acclaim your leadership for your outstanding commitment and unabated dedication to fulfill the constitutional assurance of access to justice to all. I also take this momentous occasion to declare your leadership a champion of social transformation through access to justice. On behalf of the judiciary again and the entire legal fraternity, it is my distinguished honor and privilege to present to the Lady Justice Rindia Achonde a certificate of excellence in recognition of her excellent leadership and institutional stewardship of the High Court as the Principal Judge between the period of 2018 to 2022. And now, I adorn you with this charge, a mark of honor and privilege of being called PJ Emeritus.
Thank you, CJ, for having performed those ceremonies. The next part of the ceremony is to call upon the Honorable Namadi, Chief Registrar, to do the proclamation, the holder of the office of the Principal Judge. Thank you.
The Honorable the Chief Justice, President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, distinguished judges, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is now my humble duty and privilege to do the proclamation. I, Anna Madi, Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, hereby confirm that I have received from the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission a certificate confirming that Honorable Mr. Justice Eric Kennedy Okumu Ogola was on the 15th day of September 2022 duly elected the Principal Judge of the High Court. The installation of the new Principal Judge will be done by the Honorable the Chief Justice pursuant to Rule 4 of the High Court Organization and Administration General Rules. May I now humbly ask the Honorable the Principal Judge-elect to approach the stage. May I also ask the Honorable the Chief Justice to come forward as well. May I ask you to come forward and take the oath? You're affirming?
Yeah, and read. Yes.
Are you taking a Bible?
Yes, yeah, Bible.
The Bible, please.
And affirm. I, Eric Kennedy Theophilus Okumu Otieno Ogola, the Principal Judge of the High Court, having previously taken the oath of office of Judge of the High Court of Kenya, do hereby solemnly reaffirm the said oath. And now I do swear in the name of the Almighty God to faithfully and diligently serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Principal Judge of the High Court, and that I undertake to hold my office as Principal Judge with honor and dignity, that I will be a true and faithful counselor to the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya for the good management of the affairs of the High Court and the judicial arm of the Republic of Kenya, that I shall duly consult with the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, that I will not divulge directly or indirectly such matters as shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my duties, and committed to my secrecy except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as Principal Judge, and that I will perform the functions of my office conscientiously and to the best of my ability in accordance with this Constitution as by law established, and the laws and customs of the Republic, without any fear, favor, bias, affection, ill will, prejudice, or any political, religious, or other influence. So God help me.
Indeed, so help you God. Please let's move to the signing table. The Chief Justice will now hand over the role of principal judges to the Honorable the PJ. Congratulations, Justice Ogola, Principal Judge. Well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that bit of it. The next is to call upon the outgoing principal judge to hand over what we call the instruments of power.
The outgoing Principal Judge of the High Court is now handing over to the Honorable Chief Justice the handing over report that will guide the incoming Principal Judge, actually the Principal Judge of the High Court, on aspects that have been achieved to date and things that will be delivered forward. Next is the badge. You can see that very sequential handover through the Honorable Chief Justice, because indeed the Act operationalizing the office of the PJ assigns the Principal Judge the responsibility to report to the Honorable Chief Justice. So those are the instruments of power, instruments of leadership, changing hands there. Very monumental, very instrumental. Next would be a package that would have instruments that will guide the Principal Judge of the High Court to execute the mandate detailed by dint of Article 165 and Section 6 of the Act operationalizing that office. So as you can see, these are the guiding elements. These are the tools, including the Constitution, the Act, and all the aspects that define and signifies the High Court. So the band, please. I think we have just witnessed something monumental. I now invite you. We have one final. Thank you, band. Thank you, band. As the band entertains us. So we have yet another insignia of justice, and these are the scales of justice that will stand as a reminder of the mandate of the judiciary as provided for in the Constitution. It is an important symbol because really if those scales don't balance, if the supply side of justice does not balance with the demand side of justice, then the requirements of Article 48, Article 159, Article 165, and indeed the entire fabric of the Constitution stands at a compromise. So, band, I welcome you now to entertain us with a bit of fanfare. We are also going to have confetti at this moment to signify the celebration. And I invite you all to join us in a warm applause of this very incremental moment. If I could kindly request to be upstanding to celebrate this very, very significant moment where the High Court now officially has a new principal judge, a constitutional office that signifies really the exceptionality of the High Court as the primary guardian of the Constitution. Thank you, band. We'll continue with the fanfare as the Chief Justice congratulates the principal judge and as we witness just this beautiful and significant moment, and every time the judiciary leading by example. What a beautiful and warm ceremony. My lady, allow me to request to remain on stage as we have the ceremonial photos. We will have a picture. Yeah, even you. We will have a picture of the Honorable Chief Justice and the Principal Judge of the High Court. We have Zakim Rajan, HSC, Director of Photography in the Judiciary, guiding. As a cause of protocol, the Honorable Chief Justice would stand on the left-hand side of the Principal Judge. Those are some of the little observations that really mean so much in the order of seniority and protocol in government. I will now invite the Honorable Chief Registrar to join that picture because really the duality, the duality of the roles of the Chief Registrar and the Chief Justice, supported by the Principal Judge, is a core mark of how that leadership flows in the structure of the judiciary. I will now invite my lady, Lady Justice Lydia Chode, to join that picture. These are ceremonial pictures at this point of the ceremony, and we will have a set of 6 other pictures at the end of this auspicious ceremony. So really that is the complete package, the face of the High Court and the representation of power and leadership through our institution. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice. May I request and invite you to take your seat. Indeed, the stage is now colored as a significant testament of what just happened here today. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice, my lady and Lord Judges, distinguished guests, stakeholders, friends. Thank you very much, band. The High Court, the Principal Judge of the High Court will now officially move from the back seat to the front seat, signifying his position as Chief Advisor to the Chief Justice on all matters of the High Court. So that movement is also quite significant. The Principal Judge now takes his rightful position next to the Chief Justice. A round of applause, please. Thank you very much. At the front seat, you will see on the side where the Chief Justice is, the model of shared leadership coming to life. And that model of the shared leadership is actually from the Constitution itself. Thank you very much, band. Asanteni sana. Thank you, band. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana. Thank you, band. I will now hand over the microphone to Honorable Justice Sergon to invite Justice Mwongo to deliver the appreciation remarks. Thank you very much. Honorable Judge. This is working.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. May I take this opportunity now to call upon Justice Richard Mwongo, PJ Emeritus, to make his remarks. Thank you.
Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice, President of the Court of Appeal, I recognize you. PJ Emeritus 3, welcome to the club. CRJ, I recognize you. I recognize my colleague judges, friends, colleagues from the LSK, and our other stakeholders. Good morning, if it is still morning, I think it is. Good morning. I suspect I was asked to make these appreciation remarks because I could make a commentary on what was going on. And I recall we were talking with Judge Majanja just before I came up, and somebody was asking, did we do all this for Judge Mwongo when he came? And then, of course, you know, we came from the bush, and here we are now. This is why it is important for us to appreciate growth and development and success where we see it and when we see it, isn't it? So we are now giving appreciation remarks in the context of a transition from the Achode era or Achode administration to the Ogola administration. And so it is my pleasure to make these few remarks of appreciation. First, appreciation to Your Ladyship, the Chief Justice, and the Deputy Chief Justice too. We thank you for graciously convening this ceremony. It is a statutory ceremony, and we are grateful that you took it in stride. It is important in the life of the High Court, as you could see, and we thank you for your immense and continuous support and guidance to the High Court. We celebrate you together with the DCJ as part of our leaders. I recall, and this is important, that you are also products of the High Court. Very proudly, thank you. We want to appreciate the JSC, here represented, I think, by Honorable Justice Majanja. The JSC are our leaders in the sense that they set for the judiciary, for the High Court, all the policies that we follow, and we are grateful that we can work with you through our PJ, whose one of his roles is to implement the policies set up by the judiciary and also by the JSC, and we thank you for the support that we've had from the JSC, in particular for all the hard work you do in employing staff for us and also in interviewing and nominating judges who then come to the High Court. We want to appreciate the President of the Court of Appeal. We have just given you an additional member of the leadership of the judiciary. In terms of the Constitution, we have the President of the Supreme Court, we have the Vice President of the Supreme Court, now we have the President of the Court of Appeal with us, we now have the Principal Judge of the High Court, and we have other colleagues from our Equal Status Court in the Employment and Labor Relations Court, Justice Maureen Onyango, and also the Principal Judge of the Presiding Judge of the ELC, Justice Angote. So we now have a complete complement, and we are grateful and appreciate you all for having made the time to come. PJ Emeritus 3, we want to thank you for your leadership of the High Court in the last 4 years. We experienced stability despite COVID. We experienced growth and accomplishment, which are very visible for all of us to see. We thank you and we wish you all the best in the Court of Appeal. The High Court Advisory Committee was introduced to us earlier. We thank the High Court Advisory Committee. It's a statutory committee under the High Court Organization and Administration Act. We thank you for the time and effort you spend in doing all the background work that is so necessary in order for the leadership of the High Court to proceed. And also we thank you for ensuring that this ceremony was a success. Outgoing Registrar of the High Court, you are still outgoing until you go out. I think this is probably one of your last events. We are very grateful. You worked with me when I was there. You have worked with Justice Achode. And just for the next 2 weeks, if you will work with the Principal Judge Eric Theophilus Okumu Kennedy Ogola, then that will help us. If the Principal Judge of the ELC will allow for 2 weeks, he says no, he needs her right away. Okay, but we appreciate your service and all the endeavor of hard work that you gave us. I want to thank the Office of the OPJ for the administrative support that you continually give us, together with the Office of the RHC. Your Office of the PJ administratively manages the affairs of the High Court, and so we want to thank you for all the telephone calls, for all the detailed arrangements that you make to enable us to survive irrespective of where in the country we are. Deputy registrars of the High Court, some of you may be here, and magistrates, we want to thank you also. Without you, the High Court is really nothing. And we thank you that in every function you really do give us so much support. We thank you for your perseverance, forbearance, and support. We also want to thank the staff of the High Court. Without you and all the hard work that you do in the background, often unnoticed, unrecognized, or unacknowledged, we take this opportunity to thank you. May God bless you. Our stakeholders, we want to thank the LSK, we want to thank the ODPP, we want to thank the AG's office. We don't take this for granted. The fact that you are always ready to come to our aid, but we also want to plead with you to continue challenging us and keeping us accountable for the sake of the Constitution and for the sake of the Republic, for the sake of Wanjiku. Our development partners, we will not forget you. I will not dare long list or short list you or your names, but we applaud you all for the unstinting support over the years that we have received, whether it is in registry operations, whether it is in an event like this one, whether it is in training, whether it is in election preparedness, whatever area that our development partners have been in support of us, we are extremely grateful, because that has all been to assist us with the administration of justice. Acting PJ, I will not forget you, Honorable Justice Sargon, just 2 months old, I think, as acting PJ, but you handled us well, very softly, with your very gentle demeanor. We thank you for bringing us through the election of the PJ. We thank all the participants, the candidates for that election. You conducted yourself very, very honorably, with great decorum. I don't think there was even a rumor of anything that went wrong in connection with the campaign. There was no negativity at all throughout the campaign. Thank you for assisting us in that way. All our judges, my colleagues, I want to thank you for exercising your right of suffrage and providing a leader for the constitutional office of PJ. We thank you for attending today's installation despite the urgent change in timing. We, of course, I am your voice now for now, my dear judges. We are, of course, going to put our PJ to task to fulfill his elections manifesto. You remember the document that he gave us? Very nicely done. I hope it was not just the sheen of it that brought us on board, but we will keep you to your manifesto. Last but not least, Honorable Justice Eric Kennedy, Theophilus Okumu, Ogola, we thank you for offering yourself to give us leadership in the High Court. You have our full support and our prayers. You have our confidence. You carry our hopes, and we bless you and pray that the will of God will be done through you for the High Court and for the Republic of this of Kenya. As you give us leadership, remember always that the goal is the fair and expeditious administration of justice for the sake of Wanjiku, the citizens of Kenya, and for this great republic of ours. Thank you, and God bless you. If you don't mind, I'll remove the scroll from here, because I think it may be forgotten. There are some important documents here.
Thank you, Justice Mwongo, PJ Emeritus 2. That clarification had to be made. I earlier said PJ Emeritus. Someone corrected me. No. There are so many Emeritus PJs. May I take this opportunity to humbly request our new principal judge to come forward and make his maiden speech.
I'm not sure whether it's still afternoon or good morning. Good morning. Honorable Lady Justice Martha Koome, Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court, Honorable Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Honorable Judge, President of the Court of Appeal, Judge Musinga, my lords, colleagues, Honorable President of the Law Society of Kenya, Honorable Representative from the Attorney General, members who have come to witness my installation, my friends and my family, Good morning again. From the outset, I want to get this clear because I don't think we should go back to it again. My name. My name is Eric Theophilus. Eric Kennedy Theophilus Okumu Otieno Ogola. When I joined the judiciary in the year 2011, the then Chief Justice Honorable Willie Mutunga told me that those names were so many. So he said that because we don't have space and time, I should reduce them. So I told my Lord that I would prefer to be called just Lord Ogola, to shorten all of them. But my Lord told me that we are coming to the judiciary at a time when we don't want to use the word Lord. So what do we do? So we agreed. It was a negotiated settlement that I would now remove 2 and remain with 4. And that's why we have Eric Kennedy Okumu Ogola. So let's get it, Mr. Theory. It is now settled. Thank you very much. I want to appreciate that in this congregation there are people who have come to witness this ceremony, and they have come from Mombasa. The LSK team from Mombasa are here. The Law Society team from Eldoret, where I currently work, are here. And I just want to say thank you. In the congregation, I have my family. We'll be able to take photos, but my family, I have a large family, and we are also a family of lawyers. I want my family to stand up. Yes, this is my family, and the senior most lawyer in my family is Chacha Odera. Chacha, can you greet us? Thank you. You can sit down. So my family also came from where we come from, and they met others who are already here. So we are big. The eldest or the leading members of our family is Muse Ondiek and Mama Josephina Odera. They are here. Thank you very much. So, members of the judiciary, now I want to say something about why we are here. And allow me to read what I had written. 11 years ago, I stood as I did today and took an oath, solemnly swearing to diligently serve the people of Kenya as a judge of the High Court. Soon thereafter, the first matter that I presided over was an application for interlocutory injunction, and the issue was whether the application before me had met the threshold of Jela versus Casman Brown. I first interacted with Jela versus Casman Brown as a first-year student at the University of Nairobi, and after 20 years of legal practice, I could quote the decision in my sleep. So when counsel argued, I felt a sense of calm and comfort that was brought from the familiarity of Jela versus Casman Brown. I confidently knew that in my tenure as a judge, I would be able to impartially do justice to Wanjiku in accordance with the Constitution, the law, customs, and usage of this country, and above all, with the peace and assurance brought by the familiarity and simplicity of the law. It has been over a decade now, and I can proudly attest that I have protected, administered, and defended the Constitution, and that I have upheld the dignity and respect of the judiciary. So I stand here today, humble and grateful to my colleagues, you, my lords and my ladies, who have validated my effort by bestowing their trust in me and electing me as the principal judge of the High Court of Kenya. Thank you. I joined this esteemed institution immediately after Kenyans ushered in their new day constitution. Subsequently, and under the auspice of retired Chief Justice Emeritus Willie Mutunga and David Maraga, the judiciary was put on a permanent track of transformation through the blueprints, the Judiciary Transformation Framework, and the Sustaining Judiciary Transformation. These two blueprints bore the immensity of their assignment as a trustee of the dreams of many whose quest to expand access to justice led them to immense loss, ridicule, dismemberment, and even death. Our heroes, many of them still with us today, put tyranny, oppression, and exploitation on their back and foot and made strides towards freedom, opportunity, and transparency in the judiciary. With that, among other strides, the constitutional office of the principal judge was heralded in 2013 by my Lord, PM Emeritus Hon. Richard Mwongo, who then passed the baton to Lady Justice Lydia Achode in 2018. Their reign was memorable in several thematic ways. The High Court Organization and Administration Act and rules were promulgated, virtual courts and an e-filing system became a reality, backlog of cases was significantly reduced, and the performance management and measurement understanding, PMMU, was made part of the justice system. I therefore take off my hat and congratulate my Lord and my Lady aforesaid for laying the foundation for a strong jurisprudential and justice superway in the High Court. Now I come in as principal judge under the leadership of Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, Honorable Martha Koome. My vision for the High Court is to realize the full potential of each judge and to meet the judiciary's vision of social transformation through access to justice. I hasten to add that my vision is no different from the vision of the Chief Justice, and as a principal judge, it is my fundamental duty to do according to that vision and to ensure that I support fully the transformative agenda of the Honorable the Chief Justice. My Chief Justice, my Lady, this office, I will give you total support. By dint of Article 165 of the Constitution, the High Court is arguably the most impactful division of the court structure in Kenya. It is indeed the engine of judicial life by its ultimate original jurisdiction in civil and criminal matters and the fact of national outreach. While the High Court has always been at the center of Kenya's judicial structure, the Constitution has tested its strength. It is on the judicial record that in the last 12 years, the High Court has outperformed itself in constitutional interpretation and many precedent-setting rulings and judgments in all spheres of the law. The High Court has become the backbone of the justice system and has contributed to the growth of jurisprudence, democracy, and the economy. Since 2012, several judges of the High Court have been promoted to the Court of Appeal and even to the Supreme Court. But those remaining have always continued with the tradition of sustaining the High Court's jurisprudential superhighway. This remains our promise: access to justice through quality jurisprudence delivered promptly. The High Court has now become our home, and it is our duty to make it a great, comfortable, and familiar home, and to deliver justice in the simplicity, honesty, and familiarity of Jela versus Casman Brown. I am taking over as the principal judge of the High Court at a time of serious challenges in terms of personnel in that court. In the last 4 years, the High Court has been the breeding ground for the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. We have also lost High Court judges to natural attrition, such as retirement and death. The number of High Court judges has substantially dwindled, and this remains a serious challenge to the Judicial Service Commission to adequately address the issue. I place good hope on the current recruitment process and urge the Judicial Service Commission and the President of the Commission, who is here, Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, to enlist at least 50 judges to ease the burden of justice delivery nationwide and also the burden on the judges of the High Court. The lack of judges is made worse by the ongoing election petitions, where more than 46 judges will be involved. This inadequacy calls for patience, not only from the litigants, but also from judges who will feel the pressure of having to do election petitions and at the same time deal with their usual cost list. I am happy that the President of the Law Society of Kenya is here, and he understands the challenges that we are going to face in the next few months. Chairman, President, Theory, have this in mind and bear with us. Next few months will be very difficult because of the challenges that we have, but we'll work with you. However, this is a challenge I can assure you that we look forward to. We are prepared for it, and we shall discharge this burden stoically. Dear friends, regardless of the very varied and rich professional backgrounds, all judges arrive at the High Court simply as judges, with the mandate to lead Wanjiku to full access to substantive justice. However, over time, judges have specialized and gained further experiences in specific areas of law such as maritime, arbitration, family, including Islamic law, intellectual property, air and space law, oil and gas, etc. My goal is to harness this intellectual resource and methodically distribute it to where each judge can exercise their expertise and create indigenous jurisprudence, the thematic issue of what Chief Justice. Chief Justice is very particular about what she refers to as indigenous jurisprudence. And I will, by the will of God, harness this talent which judges have so that we can create alternative or individual jurisprudence in line with our various intellectual abilities. Further to this, and in collaborations with the Kenya Judicial Academy, I hope to identify the training needs and opportunities for judges so that they are at par with changes in different sectors of law around the world. Now that the Judiciary Fund and rules have been put in place, I shall give special attention to equitable funding for the High Court as a distinct entity and brand in the judiciary. In close consultation with the Registrar of the High Court, I shall seek to ensure that the High Court Advisory Committee and the leadership and management teams are able to fully participate in the budgeting process under the fund, as they are statutory entities endowed with advisory mandates for enhancing policy and operational matters. The Office of the Principal Judge will also be the link and voice of the judges of the High Court in relation to the other organs such as the Office of the Chief Justice, the Chief Registrar, and the Judicial Service Commission. I plan to establish efficient lines of communication between these offices and the judges and be responsive to the needs of the judges by setting out fora in which the issues affecting judges such as transfers and complaints may be efficiently addressed. There will be an open door policy in this office where every judge will be free to voice their concerns and take part in decision-making process. As part of this endeavor, I shall also seek to strengthen and support the presiding judges of each station and division so that the unique issues affecting such station may be addressed at that level. And my lady, the outgoing, the outgone, Principal Judge had already alluded to this. In fact, she took us through a process in Naivasha where we saw what we can call devolution of the office of the Principal Judge. Judge, thank you for that blueprint. It is the blueprint that I will implement by the grace of God and by the support of the judges. The Constitution has expanded the family of judges as we speak today. There's a need for greater cohesion and togetherness, As a principal judge, one of my objectives will be to promote collegiality, not only between the judges of the High Court, but also with the judges of the courts of equal status. In particular, I shall endeavor to have regular meetings with the principal and presiding judges heading those courts to establish common grounds and working norms. In particular, as a foster to this unity, I will agitate for equal opportunity in the consideration for appointment to the Court of Appeal from the High Court, Environment and Land Court, and Employment and Labor Relations Court as a matter of right. I believe that if we harness the various individual and collective attributes and diversity each one of us brings to this institution, we will succeed in fostering an enduring culture of solidarity that will promote inclusivity and intellectual growth in our courts. The role of the principal judge cannot be understated. For me to succeed, I need my colleagues, judges of the High Court, to work together by each being a leader in their own capacity. In furtherance to this, we have health issues in one way or another which restrain us from employing our best abilities. While I do appreciate the medical insurance cover that is in place, the same is inadequate. Some of the judges who serve this court are of an advanced age and may suffer from illnesses that require special treatment. I will engage the Honorable Chief Registrar of the Judiciary and push for enhancement of our medical insurance cover, both for outpatient and inpatient. Our medical health is also crucial, and to this end, our mental health is also crucial, and to this end, I will advocate for the establishment of a Department of Counseling and Psychology within the Directorate of Human Resources. Retirement benefits. The office of a retired judge is provided for in the Constitution. Efforts must be made to have an exit plan for retiring judges. These judges must be adequately facilitated when clearing and separating from the institution. Post-retirement, these judges can still serve the institution as mentors and trainers. My office will put in place measures to ensure early seminars on retirement planning to be offered by the Kenya Judiciary Academy, trainings for the Judiciary Pension Scheme providers on how to access one's pension and or grow their accrued sums during retirement, established with the Kenya Judiciary tutors and advisors, facilitate occasional get-togethers and visitation of serving and retired judges, and accelerate enactment of the Retirement Benefit Act for judges. To ensure the social welfare of judges and outside work, I will spearhead the actualization of the club membership for judges, and I'm aware that this is a work which is actually in progress, and I want to applaud the Honorable Chief Justice for that. I will endeavor to seek the views of the judges on the scope of such membership so as to ensure that the social amenities offered meet their needs. In conclusion, I wish to quote Thomas Reid, who said that, in quote, "The chain is only as strong as its weakest link. For if that fails, the chain fails, and the object that it has been holding up falls to the ground." This means that this is one institution. The judiciary is a single institution. We may have the Supreme Court, we may have the Court of Appeal, we may have the High Court, we may have the Magistrate Court, but ideally we are one. And our duty is simple. We are in the business of settling disputes and nothing else. That dispute can be settled in the Magistrates Court, or it can be settled in the Court of Appeal, or in the High Court, or in the Supreme Court. But at the end of the day, our duty is single: settlement of disputes. And that's why we are here. We want to make sure that when disputes are brought to us, we settle them in the most efficient manner, in the most cost-effective way, and the way that every member of the public will see that here is a working judiciary. Lastly, I make a special plea to my constituents, the High Court. Like you have agreed, I ask you to support me. And in your support, if you support me, I will also be able to support our institution, support the Chief Justice in her vision, and support other institutions within the judiciary for the effective delivery of our mandate. And in conclusion, I wish to acknowledge and appreciate my worthy competitors, Justices Joseph Sergon, Daktari, thank you very much. And also Anthony Ndungu. I thank you very much, my competitors, for the mature campaigns we carried out. I further want to thank Dr. Honorable Joseph Sergon again, who has very ably been holding in acting capacity the Principal Judge's office and has done wonderful. During that short time, he has carried two very important functions. The first one is the elections which took place. Judge, thank you. The second one is the competence of this meeting, of this ceremony. Judge, thank you. I also want to thank the immediate former Principal Judge, Lady Justice, Lady Achode, and I wish you success, Judge, in the Court of Appeal. May God bless you. I also want to acknowledge and thank the judicial directorates. We have many directorates in the judiciary. They perform matters which we cannot, and we are able to succeed because they support us. I want to thank you, all the directorates in the judiciary. May God bless you. I also extend thank you to our aides, drivers, and our aides who attend to us and make sure that everything goes to plan. We cannot succeed alone. Your success is our success, and I want to acknowledge you. Lastly, I also extend my gratitude to the officials of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, for successfully conducting the Principal Judge elections on 15th of September 2022. Now, most importantly, I thank the Almighty God who, from the prayer that is our national anthem, has made my heart strong and true in service to my homeland, Kenya. May God bless you, may God bless Kenya, and may justice continue to be our shield and defender. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Judge, for your comments. May I take this opportunity to welcome Justice Musinga, President of the Court of Appeal, to come and make his remarks. Then thereafter perform the second duty of welcoming the CJ.
My Lady, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya, and the President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, may I have your permission to adopt the protocols that have already been laid out so well in this place in the interest of time. Today is indeed a great day. I am happy to join all of you here, and in particular, to be present to witness this colorful ceremony of unveiling the Principal Judge of the High Court of Kenya. I will not repeat those many names, but you've already settled the issue. I know the High Court is in very good hands. And I say this confidently because, Chief Justice, I knew this distinguished judge when he was a practitioner. Both of us were active members of the Law Society, of Mombasa Law Society. We did many matters together. And I know that he's an accomplished scholar and a great judge. My lady, in 2011, yet again, after parting with him in Mombasa, I had the honor of inviting or welcoming him to the commercial division in this very building when I was heading that division. And for 2 years, we worked very well with my brother here and the other judges in the division. And so I can confidently say that I know, my brothers and sisters in the High Court, you made a good choice. And your job, my brother Justice Ogola, is made even easier by the fact that an excellent foundation has been set by your very able predecessors, my brother Justice Mwongo there, and my lady Justice Achode, who you've heard they've done an excellent job. And so, looking at the report that was given to you here by my lady Justice Achode, I know the roadmap is well laid out. Yours is simple implementation, and you will do an excellent job. We can only commend you to the Lord God Almighty, whom you've invoked his name, to guide you, to lead you, to show you the way, to be your protector, your keeper, and give you all the wisdom that you require. I am sure my brothers and sisters in the High Court, whom you have appealed to, they'll give you all the support that you require to execute and excel in your office. The High Court is a very important court in the jurisprudential architecture of this institution, the judiciary. The High Court is the biggest contributor of the work that we do in the Court of Appeal. My lady, I want to say that the JSC that you had has been doing a very good job in recruiting very good judges to that court. The caliber of judges that we have gotten in the Court of Appeal, I'm very happy with them because they have come from this wonderful court. They are already doing an excellent job. Even those whom I assign tasks 1 week after their appointment, they did an excellent job. You know, sometimes I hear comments out there, why does the Court of Appeal write shorter judgments than the High Court? May I say that when you have done such an excellent job, and you're basically looking at this decision that may have been challenged by a dissatisfied litigant, if good jurisprudence has been downloaded and it is there, you are basically affirming or checking whether the allegations made by the dissatisfied parties are right or not. At times, you do not need to spend so much ink to say that this is a good judgment. I can say that from where I sit, I think it's only about 5% or so of those decisions that for one reason or the other may be overturned. It is a testament, Chief Justice, that we have high caliber judges in the High Court. We have heard the lament of the principal judge that indeed the High Court has been depleted, courtesy of the promotion of a number of judges to the Court of Appeal. Indeed, that's a fact, and I hope that JSC, we are all aware, actually, it's out there in the public domain that recruitment is going to take place very soon. We hope that you're going to get the numbers, because we do not want there to be any weakness. You've told us about, we do not want to have any weakness in that justice chain link. We want all the arms to be strong. And so, because it is not my day, after listening to such powerful remarks by the principal judge here, as I welcome the Chief Justice, I want to say this. Chief Justice, thank you very much for what you're doing for the institution of the judiciary. Your office is very busy. Indeed, last week we were with you in Nakuru when we were inducting the newest batch of our colleagues who have joined the Court of Appeal. We had a full-week induction, and thereafter, Chief Justice, you joined us to launch the Court of Appeal in Nakuru. And yet again this week, we were with you, my lady, the Chief Justice, in Naivasha, as you were giving the final briefing to High Court judges whom you have gazetted to do election petitions. And today, we are here on this function. And I know in between you have done many other things. Chief Justice and JSC, I want to say publicly that we truly appreciate the support that you've given the Court of Appeal, because last year we were down to 12, barely the minimum statutory limit. But within your short period of being in office, the number has gone up by 17. We are now 29. And we want to promise that we are going to up our game. We have no reason now as a Court of Appeal of not reducing the backlog. We have no reason of not doing our very best to reduce the waiting time. We're going to strive to see whether we can finalize matters within the 1 year that ideally you have set for us. But it is still work in progress, because we see judges at all these levels, other levels are increasing, and therefore the number of appeals that we are getting are increasing every day. But we'll do our very best. And so with those very many remarks, my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, I request that we put our hands together to welcome the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya to address us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my Lord, the Honorable Mr. Justice Musinga, President of the Court of Appeal. Please, may we be seated? The Principal Judge, Mr. Justice Eric Kennedy Vioferas, Okumu, Otieno, Ogola, I have also the privilege and honor of congratulating you most warmly and confirming that I will have no problems with your names. I declare them your official names because as a woman, I know why your mother gave you those 6 names. When she gave birth to you, she must have been filled with joy of receiving these very energetic, sharp-eyed names, as if she was not going to have another one. Serve the names. We own them with you. We celebrate you on the assumption of office as the principal judge of the High Court. In the same breath, allow me to thank the outgoing principal judge, my sister now who is a judge of the Court of Appeal, the Honorable Lady Justice Rindia Achonde, and really thank her for her service and leadership of the High Court over the last 4 years. This is a period where the High Court has grown in leaps and bounds, both in terms of the quality of its jurisprudence and also in court performance, as reflected in the impressive case clearance rates. This moment, I also wish to acknowledge our PJ Emeritus, Honorable Mr. Justice Richard Mwongo, for laying the foundation, because in the judiciary, we keep on building from what has already been done. So thank you, Justice Mwongo. When Justice Rindia Achonde was promoted to the Court of Appeal, I was somewhat confused, but the two of you told me that there is nothing to worry about. Justice Achonde already recommended that I make Justice Dr. Saragon acting because he was the senior most within this building, and Justice Mwongo guided me on how we declare the position vacant and how we proceed. This is all about shared leadership. I think if anybody wants to know about shared leadership, devolution of power, they need to come to the judiciary and see how it happens. So this moment of transition in leadership of the High Court provides an opportunity for us as a judiciary and as a nation to reflect on the critical role played by the High Court in ensuring access to justice to our people and furthering the constitutional project of transformative constitutionalism. This transition also goes to show that our Constitution and our rule of law is maturing, even in terms of our democracy, that we recently also earned a peaceful transition of our government from one regime to the other. The High Court occupies a central place and plays a critical role in our judicial system as a court that exercises wide, original, and appellate jurisdiction, and that has a presence in all the corners of our country. The High Court and its performance has a significant bearing on how our people interact with the justice system. It is the High Court that provides leadership because, of course, we were there before the other courts came. The courts of equal status. It is the High Court that holds the stations together in terms of providing leadership. And we continue to applaud you and the fact that over the last 4 years, during the tenure of the Honorable Lady Justice Rindi Achonde as Principal Judge, the High Court has made great strides in improving the service delivery. This commendable feat has been achieved through continuous progress that has involved embracing new initiatives geared towards improving institutional performance, embracing technology, and leveraging on it in the service delivery, and embracing performance management, amongst others. My brother, Principal Judge, Mr. Justice Eric Ogola, you begin your term as a Principal Judge when we have embarked on a new quest of making our courts, including the High Court, centers of excellence. And you have already alluded to it in your beautiful speech. You could see he is really speaking like a Principal Judge, or is it like a Chief Justice already? You have already identified. Our hope and expectation is that at the end of your 5-year tenure, it would be said that it was during your term as the Principal Judge that the High Court achieved the target of being a model court in service delivery, having cleared all the backlog and attained the current case disposal status. We will stand here to celebrate you and say this is the court that is being benchmarked and an example to be emulated by other courts locally and internationally. My lords, ladies, and gentlemen, the assumption of office as Principal Judge of the High Court implicates the idea of this shared leadership drawn from Article 165 of the Constitution. In the case of the High Court, you will continue to champion the social transformation through access to justice, our vision for the judiciary. As the Principal Judge and the team leader, together with all the judges, because we recognize all the judges, all the registrars, deputy registrars, and all the people who work in the court have a critical role to play as drivers of court of excellence in the performance and innovations to secure enhanced performance of the High Court. We work together, and I'm happy you have repeated that chain link mantra, that the chain is as strong as its weakest point, because you, as the Principal Judge, you will be as strong as the weakest link that you have. Every officer that you have working under you, you must pull together towards ensuring that we achieve our objective of accessing justice to our people and responding to their expectations. Our expectation as the judiciary leadership, which you now join, and indeed the expectations by Kenyans, is that the Principal Judge, all our judges, judiciary staff, registrars, and the court users of the High Court will be at the forefront in coming up with interventions to ensure timely delivery of justice to litigants. And looking at your wonderful CV and even what you shared so that you are elected to this office, I have no doubt completely in my mind that you are the best in terms of bringing the best out of what we have, consolidating the gains that are already there, working with the other stakeholders to find solutions for the problems that we encounter, because we do not serve ourselves, we serve our stakeholders, key among them the Law Society of Kenya. This is indeed the embodiment of the people-centered justice approach by the judiciary. Indeed, our stance vision for the judiciary, the social transformation through access to justice, pursues an agenda that intends to ensure that the delivery of justice is efficient and prompt. We have now set our benchmark for expedited delivery of justice to be the goal of ensuring that no court case should stay in trial for more than 3 years. And indeed, as the Honorable President of the Court of Appeal has said, none should stay on appeal for more than a year. I am confident that the principal judge will continue to be at the forefront and to take the driver's seat in leading the High Court towards attainment of this target. Indeed, as I was penning your letter transferring you to Nairobi to take this seat of authority here in Nairobi, I was advised that the most difficult division is the family division, and that is the one that requires your specialization. And therefore, I have put you there right at the center of the problem, and I believe because of your energy, your case management strategy that is legendary, you will actually help us get out of those 17,000 cases that are pending in the entire High Court family division all over the country. Tackling the problem of case backlog and delay in resolution of cases demands that we rethink how we manage our courts in fundamental ways. Therefore, our vision allows and indeed encourages localized and court-based innovations geared towards enhancing court performance. And I was pleased that your predecessor and a very vibrant leadership team that continuously advised her how to proceed with all the challenges that she encountered during her tenure. I therefore encourage you as the principal judge to continue re-engineering those practices and seeing how best to improve the efficiency of the High Court. In addition, the High Court being the doorway to most litigations, which touch on the interpretation and enforcement of our Constitution, you are actually the drivers of our transformative jurisprudence, and I'm happy with your emphasis on indigenous jurisprudence, because indeed we must find local solutions to our unique problems. A jurisprudence that is responsive to our social context and the social transformation imperatives of the 2010 Constitution. An indigenous jurisprudence that serves not only our purpose, but can also be exported to the other jurisdictions. For this short period I've been in the office, I can just attest that we are actually a country to watch. I have received over 10 delegations from other jurisdictions coming to benchmark on us. For me, because we beat ourselves to the pulp, I did not think we have anything to show. But there are so many people who think that Kenya is on a trajectory of becoming a regional leader, especially in the judiciary. So allow me to use this opportunity to assure the High Court family, because indeed that is what you are, and our esteemed court users, that we in the Judicial Service Commission are well briefed about the concern around the reduced numbers of judges in the High Court. Indeed, as I was looking at the records at the Judicial Service Commission, I was alarmed to notice that the last time the Judicial Service Commission hired judges for the High Court was in 2013. That is 2013. That's when they started to hire. Then there were problems in getting them in office until 2016, dealing with those problems. But as we sit here, All those problems have been sorted out, and now we are working towards recruiting new judges. We are starting the interviews on Monday the 3rd, this October the 3rd. We start the interview for the 20, and when we finished, we also passed a resolution that we will be declaring vacancies depending on the resources that we will have, another 10, so that we can be back to the number of 90 judges before the end of the year. I am certain that we will have, by the end of the year, a very strong additional complement of judges at our high court stations capable of delivering on the critical mandate of the judiciary. In addition, we are on course to realize our long-held physical infrastructural goal of having a high court station in every county. The additional budgetary allocation of 3 billion annually, which we were granted, will greatly support the realization of this dream. In addition, and in the spirit of cooperative governance espoused in our Constitution and restated in our vision as our national institutional approach in pursuit of the fulfillment of the right of access to justice, we continue to engage also with the Council of Governance to avail land and other support mechanisms to anchor access to justice by enabling us put up this infrastructure to support the High Court and ensure that we have high courts in all the 47 counties. We are also thinking about utilizing technology holistically to embed green justice practices. I hope that in the next decade, we can curb printing in the judiciary in solidarity with our forests. And that's why you see me carrying this iPad, because I want to promote a paperless Office of the Chief Justice. We want to rely on renewable energy in solidarity with our natural resources, build green judiciary spaces that preserve nature and act as safe and unintimidating spaces for litigants and all who engage with the judiciary. And for this, I wish to laud our ELC and our Principal Judge ELC, because they are carrying out this initiative in all our court stations. They are planting trees to mark their 10-year anniversary. To realize these aspirations, we need to call for total embrace of technology and all its attendant returns in every facet of our corporate engagement. I urge the High Court to lead in developing a paperless judiciary where courtrooms are hosted on the ground and the litigants accorded the flexibility of virtual proceedings. The feedback we have received from the use of technology is absolutely encouraging. Let us protect and preserve the gains brought about by virtual courts while working together with other government agencies to enforce the last mile connectivity agenda to ensure that the farthest from the center experience justice in the same character as delivered at those who are present in the court premises. These interventions are all geared towards availing a conducive and enabling environment for the High Court as the leader and other courts to follow suit. Data continues to be our guiding star, and I agree with our director of DIPO, Dr. Kimaru, when he says, I quote, "What gets measured gets done." As at the day of your assumption of office, Honorable Principal Judge, I hope this will not scare you, there are 82,852 pending cases before you, with a backlog of 920 cases because they have been in the court system for longer than a year. 19,701 of these cases have stayed in our system beyond 3 years. Some are 5 years, others are 6 years. I therefore implore your lordship and your team to focus on these 19,701 cases during your first year in office and come up with strategies and interventions that will ensure that these cases will be out of the court system, at least by December 2023. With additional judges that the JSC is targeting to join you by November 2022, I'm sure this can be done if we are committed and we deploy the right case management methodologies, which you are known for. I warmly welcome you, Principal Judge, to the Judiciary Leadership Team. Rest assured that we will support you and the High Court to realize your vision and the overall judiciary vision during your tenure as a Principal Judge. As we continue to navigate the perils of our modern world and to seek ways to make justice a universal and realizable value, let us continue to explore new ways of serving our people in this sacred duty of judging and judgeship. I will end with an encouraging quote from one Rahaf Wando Emerson, who said, and I quote, "Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail." That is what we are asking of you, Honorable Principal Judge. Go where there is no path, but instead go where there is no path and leave a trail that others can follow. I wish you all the best. I wish you Godspeed, and I pray that you will have a wonderful time and you will enjoy your tenure of leadership as the Principal Judge, and you bring so much joy to all those you work with. And I wish to recognize your family and celebrate especially your mother and your father for bringing up a wonderful leader who has come to serve the judiciary. And finally, before I sit down, you may be wondering where my colleagues are. I also bring their message of congratulations. You know, they are a bit fatigued after what we have gone through. So when the time was changed from afternoon to morning, I think they were unable to adjust themselves. So they asked me to bring their message, very, very warm message of congratulations. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you, the family, for supporting our judge. We continue to ask that you continue to uphold him in prayer and to give him all the support so that he can carry out this onerous task. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice. With great humility, allow me to request that you remain on the stage for a small ceremony. The Principal Judge, allow me to request you to join Honorable Chief Justice on the stage. Honorable Chief Justice, 10 judges of the High Court have been elevated to the Court of Appeal, which speaks to really the excellence of the court. And the former registrar, Honorable Lady Justice Judy Omange, is now a judge of the ELC. The Principal Judge would like to call upon you to recognize 3 of our judges, former judges of the High Court, who are now judges of the Court of Appeal, with a special token of recognition and appreciation. Allow me to recognize most humbly and welcome Honorable Mr. Justice Agri Muchelule to receive a commendation from the Honorable Chief Justice and a plaque that will stand as memorabilia of your outstanding accomplishment in the High Court. Hearty congratulations, my lord.
Honorable Mr. Justice Muchelule, 2009 2022 as a judge of the High Court, 13 years of exemplary service of the High Court. It's a true testimony of your dedication to achieving the High Court's vision, which is to be a model court in the dispute resolution and protection of the rights and liberties.
Thank you very much, my Lord Chief Justice. Allow me to request Honorable Lady Justice Lydia Chode to receive her award from the Chief Justice. My lady. I will also request Honorable Justice Judy Omange. So if we could have you closer to the podium, my lady. Thank you.
The Honorable Lady Justice Rindia Achonde, you were our principal judge of the High Court for 4 years. You were a judge of the High Court between 2011 to 2022. Thank you for your inspirational leadership and great vision for the High Court. We celebrate your dedication to the rule of law and fidelity to the Constitution of Kenya.
Pillar number 3 of the social transformation through access to justice, to have a team of inspired judges and magistrates who are always appreciated. Honorable Lady Justice Judy Omange, Judge of the Environment and Land Court.
Honorable Lady Justice Judith Omange, we want to thank you for your selfless service, dedication, and strong leadership as the Registrar High Court between the year 2012 and 2022. Those are 10 years of your immense contribution to the success of the court. May you continue.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Justice. Thank you, Lady Justice. There is also a token of appreciation to Lady Justice Judy Omange, who shepherded the development of the High Court strategic plan. Thank you very much. Honorable Chief Justice, allow me now to conduct a short session of photographs before we break this ceremony officially, and I will request the family, immediate family of the principal judge, to join the principal judge and the Honorable Chief Justice on the stage for a photo moment. The family, protocol team, please help me in supporting our guests to the stage. Immediate family first, and we will have a picture for extended family and friends. Indeed, it takes an entire community to really shine a light on excellence, phenomenal growth, and development. And we do apologize because of the steps, and next time we will be very, very considerate of the needs of our family and the people who are very dear and beloved for us. So I request the protocol team to please be at the steps to support our beloved family members down the steps, please. Indeed, behind every great leader is an entire community. And I think that recognition is indeed very important, because beyond the walls of the Milimani Law Courts is a family and a community of people who support the principal judge fully and wholeheartedly. Thank you very much. We congratulate you, and we thank you most sincerely for standing with the judge and for supporting him throughout. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, and God bless you. Nishikilie. A picture with mom as well. We would all do anything to hear what mom is telling the Honorable Chief Justice, wouldn't we? Thank you so much. What rare and precious moments we have here. Thank you very much. I will now request the Honorable Chief Justice and the PJ to remain where they are, as I invite all emeritus PJs, all PJ emeritus, to join the Chief Justice and the Principal Judge for a picture that we can frame and put on our boardroom Hall of Fame. Thank you very much. With your, my lady and Lord